Hello, welcome to the Grow Your Wealthy Mindset podcast, where it is all about helping amazing physicians just like you create a wealthy life free from burnout and with the financial security to practice medicine on your own terms. I'm your host, Dr. Elisa Zhang. Hello, and welcome back to the Grow Your Wealthy Mindset podcast. As the year winds down, many of us are thinking about wrapping up loose ends, both personally and professionally. Between holiday gatherings, travel, and finishing up clinical work, it can feel like there's never enough time to catch our breath before the new year begins. But this is also the perfect moment to pause and take stock of your finances. Before the clock strikes midnight on December 31st, there are a few important things you can do that might save you money, reduce stress, and set you up for a stronger financial start in the new year. In today's episode, we're diving into your end-of-year financial checklist, specifically tailored for physicians. Let's start with retirement accounts. If you're an employed physician, check how much you've contributed to your 401k or 403b plan for this year. For 2025, the contribution limit is $23,500 if you're under age 50. If you're age 50 or older, you can add an additional $7,500 in catch-up contributions for a total contribution of $31,000. There's also that new super catch-up contribution of $11,250 available for those aged 60 to 63, which brings the total possible contribution to $34,750 for this age group. The total combined contribution for employee and employers for those under age 50 is $70,000, and for those age 50 or older, $77,500. You'll also want to make sure that you've contributed enough to receive your full employer match. That's essentially free money that you do not want to leave on the table. Hopefully, you've already set yourself up to max out your retirement accounts through your regular paychecks, but just take the time now to check that the numbers are all correct. If you have access to a governmental 457B plan, those contributions have the same $23,500 limit and can be a great way to accelerate retirement savings, especially if you're already maxing out your 403B plan. If you're with a nonprofit institution with a non-governmental 457B plan, then you'll have to be more wary about contributing and understanding the financials of your employer. If your employer were to declare bankruptcy, and that does happen to hospitals, then you will lose any funds in your non-governmental 457B plan. Check out episode 102, How 457 Plans Differ from 401k and 403b, which was released on May 8th, 2024, to learn more about 457 plans. If you have any 1099 income on the side, maybe from consulting, locums, or expert witness work, you can still open a solo 401k before the end of the year. Even if you don't fund it until tax time, it does need to be established by December 31st. I personally have my solo 401k at Fidelity, where they offer both traditional and now Roth solo 401ks. Vanguard no longer offers a solo 401k. Next, review your health-related account. If you're covered by a high-deductible health plan, check your health savings account, or HSA. The contribution limits for 2025 are $4,300 for self-only coverage and $8,550 for family coverage, with an extra $1,000 catch-up if you're over 55. Even though you technically have until tax filing to contribute, it's good to confirm that you're on track now. HSAs are often called triple tax advantage because your contributions are pre-tax, they grow tax-free, and withdrawals for qualified medical expenses are also tax-free. It's one of the best accounts to have and contribute to if you are qualified to do so. If you have a flexible spending account, don't forget to use any remaining funds before they expire. Some employers offer small carryover or a grace period into the new year, but many are use it or lose it, and you don't want to lose the money that's in there. Remember, you can use that money to buy things like sunscreen, Band-Aids, over-the-counter medications, or even this year I used it to buy a ultra-human ring, which is like the Aura ring but a different brand, which doesn't require a monthly subscription. If you have a dependent care FSA, which can reimburse for childcare or elder care, make sure to submit eligible expenses before the deadline. Now, here's one thing that's particularly relevant for physicians, and that's your professional stipends. Most hospitals or employers provide an annual CME or professional expense allowance to physicians. Depending on your employer, you may have a deadline to use your annual allowance, and for some employers, that deadline is the end of the year. This means if you haven't used all of it, now's the time. Buy some books or sign up for an online course so you don't lose those funds, which are really part of your compensation. If you run your own practice, this is a good time to review business expenses and make any necessary purchases before the end of the year in order to reduce your taxable income. The end of the year is also prime time for smart tax planning. Review your taxable investments to see if you can harvest losses to offset any capital gains. On the other hand, if you're in a lower tax bracket this year, you might strategically release some gains at favorable rates. Checking in with your accountant can be a good idea in order to do some tax strategy planning. Charitable giving is another one. Contributions must be made by December 31st to count for this tax year, whether you're donating directly to a charity or contributing to a donor-advised fund. Starting in 2026, taxpayers in the 37% federal income tax bracket will see the value of their charitable deduction benefits capped at 35%. You may want to consider giving donations in 2025 to lock in that full 37% deduction before that cap takes into effect. Remember, you could donate to a donor-advised fund in 2025 to take the deduction and then decide what charities to distribute the funds at a later time. If you want to learn more about donor-advised funds, check out episode 174 of the Grow Your Wealthy Mindset podcast, which released on September 24th, 2025. Also starting in 2026, itemized charitable deductions will only apply if your total donations exceeds 0.5% of your AGI. This means that smaller donations will no longer lead to a tax deduction, even if you itemize. If your AGI is $200,000, only gifts above $1,000 would be deductible. If your AGI is $400,000, now gifts have to be over $2,000 to be deductible. If you're age 70 and a half or older, you can make a qualified charitable distribution directly from your IRA to a qualified charity, which can satisfy your required minimum distribution and lower your taxable income. And don't forget to check your withholding or estimated tax payments, especially if you've had a big bonus, investment income, or side gig income for the year. It's much better to make an adjustment now than to face an under penalty payment later. Trust me, I wish I had paid a little bit more in federal tax last year because I did get hit with a penalty this year. This is a great time to do a quick portfolio check. Rebalance your investments if your allocation is drifted too far from your target mix. Market performance can shift the balance of stocks and bonds without you even realizing it. Before the year end, take a few minutes to review your estate plan, even if it's just confirming your beneficiaries are up to date on your retirement accounts and life insurance policies. You can also take advantage of the annual gift tax deduction, which allows you to give $18,000 per person in 2025 without touching your lifetime exemption. It's a nice way to transfer wealth to family members or contribute to your children's 529 college savings plan. Finally, take a step back and look at the big picture. Review your net worth. Celebrate how far you've come this year. Even small progress counts. If you haven't checked your credit reports lately, then you may want to consider doing that as well. Think about what you want the next year to look like financially. Maybe you want to save more intentionally. Maybe it's the year you finally align your spending with your values, spending more on what truly matters and less on what doesn't. The end of the year is more than a time to wrap up numbers. It's a time to reconnect with purpose and reset your intentions for the year ahead. A little bit of attention now can save you a lot of stress later and give you peace of mind as you head into the new year knowing your financial house is in order. Here's to a strong finish to the year and an even brighter start to the next one. If you would like help with any of this and would like a little bit of hand-holding, this is something I can potentially help you with. You can set up a consultation call with me at my website, www.growyourwealthymindset.com. We can talk over what your current situation is and what I can do to help you. For many people, that one session can be helpful alone, and it's totally free. I'd love to talk to you. Thank you so much for being a listener of the Grow Your Wealthy Mindset podcast. If you enjoyed this episode, I would love it if you could share it with your friends and colleagues. And now for the disclaimer. I am not a certified financial planner, accountant, or attorney, and nothing I say should be construed as professional investment, tax, or legal advice. This show is primarily for your education and entertainment. I am a physician, but I'm probably not your physician. So if you need any medical advice, please contact your own physician. Thank you.